Welcome back, guys. Another day, another analysis. Hope everybody is doing well. We will be starting quite soon. We'll see. See how many people make it in time for 10:15. Hello. Yo. Let's just go straight to the charts, man. I feel uncomfortable not looking at candles. Candles just, they calm me down, man. Just being able to look at my two favorite colors. And actually, no, say three favorite colors here, right? You have your red candles, you have your green candles, then you also have your levels, which are yellow. Favorite colors. Yo. What's up, Johnny? How you doing? Yeah. I think it's alright. You guys can just unmute whenever you want. Because when we do the analysis, anyways, it doesn't really matter. You guys know to listen, anyways, so it's fine. Dubs and chat, yeah, we've got two 30 pipper wins in a row from Don's stream, right? Pretty good result. But again, it's just prices printed really nicely these past 2 days. So being able to trade exactly our setup and entry, right? It just ran for 30 pips, and yeah, we ran for a lot more, but we took 30 pips, right? We took advantage of a bit of the market that made a lot of sense to us. And we'll just rinse and repeat that. If tomorrow's a loss, it's a loss, right? Stick to the plan, though. Let me just remove this. But it looks like we may be finally breaking out of the range, which is, we haven't had that in a while. It has been a while. I mean, let's hope it doesn't fucking close back into the range, I swear to God. Because look at this, right? From here, basically, you kind of started in this range already. Like, it's been, 3 months? Let's say we take it from this point, right? Here to here. 60 days, 2 months. Yeah, we could see some pretty aggro moves, I would say. But yeah, we'll do that analysis, and then we'll figure out exactly where price wants to go, what ranges it wants to fill, and so on. But yeah, interesting stuff. Monthly's also filled the previous monthly wick. It's coming down. You haven't quite. I would say you've basically tapped 90 areas. Pretty nice. Our monthly analysis is playing out, which is what you like to see. Do I share the link? Yeah, I'll probably just share it really quickly. Is the music loud? Is it okay? Turn it down a bit. Cool, that's gone out. Yeah, guys, we're gonna probably just start when we hit 10 people. Should be any time now, though. Very, very soon. Price is better in non-consolidation. Good days coming. We'll see. We'll see. But I hope everybody had a good trading day. Hopefully nobody FOMO'd into positions late session, right? I mean, what did price do after we kind of ended? It kind of just hovered, right? I mean, this range is still pretty big, I think. That's still like a 60, 40 to 60 pip range. So hopefully nobody started FOMOing into these trades here and then like trying to get into some sells and whatever, right? But yeah. Cool, guys. We're at 9. I'm just going to start. Yeah, so welcome back, guys. It is a Tuesday. We've had 2 trading days. And February 13th, right? So we have how many trading days left of this month? We have 29 trading days. Oh, it's a leap year. So we have this week, next week, and then 4 days of a third week. So, some pretty good amount of days left, right? I would say we're not even halfway through the month. So, what is the current monthly candle doing, right? So you've seen that your previous monthly candle in January closed bearish, respecting this range of 2064 and 2070 or whatever, right? That's the kind of area you're respecting. After that, you closed bearish, and now for this month, for February, you came up to create that top wick very quickly. I think like in the first couple of days, you start flipping bearish, right? Understanding that at any given point, because you are still in this range, you get a range fill, right? Because you don't have enough liquidity to continue breaking these highs to go up. Because if you did, you wouldn't have closed bearish here. So because of that, once you did flip, you understand there's a high chance you could get that wick fill down towards around that 2002 level. And we understood that this currently, in the monthly kind of chart, this is our range from 2072 to around 1990 sort of areas. And yeah, we tapped. We tapped today, which is fantastic. It means that we finally filled the entire range down, and price again needs to make a decision on the higher time frame this time, the monthly candle. It needs to make a decision on whether it wants to continue pushing down or whether it wants to start, pushing back up, rejecting, and then potentially closing, respecting 1991 for this month. But you have a lot of time left for this month. So your monthly candle has achieved its overall goal. It filled its range very early on, I would say. So with the remaining time, right, it can do anything. It can definitely come down, break below 1991 on the lower time frames, potentially on the weekly, the daily, whatever. Maybe you'll see continuations down towards your next range. But until we get a full monthly closure, it's going to be very difficult to tell exactly where the monthly candle wants to do, right? But we fill the range. So at the moment on the monthly, I don't know if it's going to continue down or if it's going to continue going back up. There's no indication for me that price wants to go in any direction, because you have a top wick for the monthly, right? And you're currently coming down for the monthly as well. So you have your top wick and you're pushing down. How far are you going to go past this next level of rejection or your support? We don't know, right? So we're going to need the smaller time frames to give us that overall detail, which is why we jumped to the weekly. So the weekly currently is Tuesday, so we have another 3 trading days. The weekly is going to be interesting because if we do close respecting, I would say 1990 here, you have some level, going across here, which is relatively strong as well. Last time you weren't able to break here, you weren't able to break here, but when you did, you filled the range, right? Filled the range up to around 2060, these sorts of areas, right? I would say. So cool, you filled the range, now you're coming down. So if you do get a breakout below 1990, there's a chance you can be mirroring some of this traffic, right? This traffic, some of these traffics here. Why? Because you haven't closed below for how many weeks now since here? All right, it's been wow, that's a lot of days, 84 days. And essentially, now that you've grabbed liquidity, if you're looking at this weekly chart, this is liquidity potentially for you to come down, right? But what I'm expecting, if you do get a breakout, let me get my annotation tool, is probably a breakout, then more liquidity, right? So if you get a breakout that looks like this, That is a disgusting candle, but it's so thin. That's even worse. Something looks like this, right? If you get that, what I would expect for your next candle, you know, cool, you could get no top wick and then continue to fill the range, but I would like for price to do something like this. Don't know how high this is going to be, right? But I would like something like this for us to continue taking those sells down. Why? Because you've grabbed liquidity once here, but if this was enough liquidity for you to continue pushing down, the monthly flip for, I think this was December, right? The monthly flip for December would have been more aggressive and you wouldn't have closed bullish here, right? So you probably need more liquidity if you want to continue down. And also at the same time, you don't know if it's going to come down. There's no confirmation currently that price wants to come down, right? Because your previous weekly closed respecting this range here, right? Overall range around 2016. Any given point, you can flip back up and start retesting those highs. And I would say that now you've rebroken all of these lows, you have liquidity for you to start driving back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's happening as well, right? Understanding that the overall structure for the monthly as well is very bullish, right? If you're just looking at longer time frame, we've been bullish, right? You had a fake out here back in September last year, and then you started to create all-time highs. So yeah, like I am still bullish overall for gold in terms of like, you know, the yearly chart or whatever you want to call it. But on the smaller time frames, right, relatively smaller, the weekly, I'm understanding that it could continue pushing down. So similar to the monthly, I'm going to need a closure. I don't know exactly what's happening. If it closes below certain ranges, right, below 990 here, or, you know, below most recent, which is around kind of like 2000, 2004 sorts of areas, could be fantastic as well, right? But yes, you know, any given point you could start flipping to continue back up. So let's go to the daily really quickly. So your daily has closed. You have respected my range here. So if you look closely here, you have a lot of rejections here, right? So I think 1990 was a pretty strong level for me previously as well, 1989 sorts of areas. So you've closed respecting and you've rejected on the dot, right? Any given point, price can reject from here and start coming back up, right? And what you would expect is if price has closed respecting, there is a high chance you're just in this range now on the daily, between here and here. And if that is your range, what can you expect, right? If you want to continue pushing down, which you currently have indication because you are breaking below this, right? And last time you did break below, you had a range fill towards here, break back into this range, you filled down to these areas. So you have some nice ranges to fill down towards, I would say, like these sorts of areas here. But to get there, you're going to need liquidity again. And that's going to be in the form of a daily top wick, right? So because you've respected, what I'd like to see, if price really wants to continue pushing down, is potentially price creating a top wick, tapping into somewhere around these areas, right? Some of these wick highs here, right? And then if you flip bearish, then yeah, cool. I'll look to take those sells, right? But ideally, right, for tomorrow's candle, what could happen is you get a breakout with a bottom wick that looks like this, right? And in this case, yeah, fantastic, right? I'm going to be looking for sells to fill this wick and then continue driving down towards my ultimate goals around here, around 1970, whatever, right? So if that's what I'm looking for and the top wick is kind of in this sort of area here, then cool. I'm just going to wait for that to happen because any given point, we were saying on the weekly, you can flip bullish, right? You're only 2 days in. If you flip bullish, then cool. You're probably gone, right? After you break this high here, you're probably looking to take buys all the way up to the top of the range. And this could be the first part of it, right? So if price comes down first and then closes bullish like this, then yeah, then it's very difficult because you understand that this could be liquidity similar to these times, similar to this, for us to start retesting those highs. And then as this happens, your weekly could flip, right? And that could be a retest of those highs. And unfortunately, you would be back in this range. But, you know, this range is tradable, right? We've been trading this range for quite a while, so it is possible. It's just not the nicest because, you know, we would like to trade some new ranges because it's getting a little bit messy now. But yeah, that's what I would say on the daily, right? Your daily has closed respecting a level for me, a pretty strong level. Any given point, you could just, you know, reject and start driving straight back up. Previous times where you were able to drive down after, right? You're looking at potentially these, right? Just straight down, you grab liquidity above in these areas again, so you haven't, right? So maybe this is the beginning of it. In this case, you also grab liquidity here before you're able to drive down further. Here's looking like a pretty good level, right? Because I'm looking at this wick here and this wick here, and I'm also looking at these wicks here. And then also in general, market structure, you're looking at, you know, price doing this, coming up to the most recent, right, to come down, and this is your most recent lower low, if you will. So if it needs to create a lower high, then, you know, you'd expect it somewhere around there, I would say. So 2003 is pretty key for me. I would like to see that get tapped, and then if it starts flipping bearish, I'll have slightly better indications of where it wants to go. If this bearish candle closed below the range, then cool. I probably wouldn't have needed such a high top wick, right? And I would just look for a direct sell once you kind of re-break these lows, because high chance you could have an aggro day, right? But because of how the daily closed, it's a little bit more difficult. I'm going to need those confirmations. 4 hour. 4 hour is interesting. Let's find that level. I mean, looking like 1989 is not too bad of a level. And I think I'm going to use that as my main level for now. Unless I see anything that really catches my eye. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think you do have something around here as well. 1987. Yeah, 1987 isn't bad as well. 87.6. Cool. I mean, regardless, right? Your 4 hour doesn't have structure, right? That's the first thing I would say. You did close below your previous 4 hour structure here, right? So below 1994, which is pretty clean, right? You close below and you filled the range down. I mean, you can also potentially move this. Yeah, I'll keep it here for now. But you closed below and you started to fill down towards here, right? You haven't continued to push, and this wasn't, you know, the move that we were, you know, anticipating for the day anyways, because you had such an aggressive push here. But this could happen, right? Any given point, this could happen. What I would be looking for now is potentially a wick up to here, right, for the 4 hour. So if it can potentially start pushing down and then this comes back up for this wick, then yeah, cool, I'll look to take this. But if it comes up first and then just creates this wick, I can't. I'm going to need a wick towards around 2003, because you also didn't create this structure before you came down. So I'm expecting more liquidity, especially because your daily has closed. You're going to need a daily top wick before you're able to come down. But 4 hour structure, you are still bearish. You haven't printed any bullish candles for a while, so you don't have that range on the 4 hour. So it's not giving you, you know, the best picture of what's happening. All you know is that you're in some sort of range between here and here on the 4. And before you can continue pushing down, you're expecting liquidity. So, you know, any given point, similar to kind of what happened in these areas, right? You kind of struggled around here, broke the lows, then broke the highs, continue down, right? So if you break the lows first, then cool. Like, you can maybe look for sells down, but I'm going to need that top wick. So that's going to look like this, right? So break the lows, maybe come back up, and then reflip bearish. Something like this would be pretty ideal for us, right? Understanding that this is liquidity required to continue driving down towards that 1977 sorts of areas. But yeah, 4 hours not giving you too much information. Let's go towards our hourly. Gonna get rid of just some lines, a few too many lines. It's not bad. 1989, 1988, 3. Yeah, 1998 3 is not bad. I'm gonna potentially use this just ever so slightly higher. 1988 5 6. So yeah, sells below 1988 obviously are clean, but you are quite far away. That's like a 50 pip range essentially. So if you do get a breakout, yeah, I mean, you could mirror this entire traffic to the left, going down, straight tap into 1977. But for me to get into positions, I probably wouldn't be looking for this pull here, because there's no liquidity confirming this, right? And this was during the middle of New York. So this push made sense, right? Because you have volume. But, you know, with price closing now and your daily opening up and you're kind of going into Asian, what I'm going to need to see is probably some of this structure being printed, right? Like all of this bullish structure here to grab the liquidity eventually at around Asian session, or sorry, around like London or New York. And then as this closes back into this range, yeah, I'll probably look for a sell when you break this hourly. Whoa, brother. Yeah, I'll probably look for a sell when you break this low, right? Because you've come up, right, tapped into these areas. Now you're breaking back into this range on the smaller time frame, breaking structure. Yeah, cool. You'll look to potentially capture, well, from here down to your range fill to here, right? That's 47 pips. And that's pretty clean. And also for your next candle, you also then got a top wick. So could potentially even get wick entries if you didn't fill the entire range down, right? So there's a lot of opportunity, but I would need those areas to get tapped. 1993 ideally, but with the structure currently, right? You're seeing that 1993 previously was a break of all of this structure here. So the structure was down here. In this case, we're kind of hovering around between 1993 and 1988. So the structure I'm going to need is going to be above, because currently 1993, 1996 sorts of areas is just this range. So that's why I'm still mainly looking at 2003 as my main liquidity area. Anywhere I would say between, 2003 is just nice, but I don't think I'll be able to get wick entries just yet, just because of how the daily closed, right? The daily has closed respecting a level, so if I take a wick entry, any given point just continues to fly up. And we had a situation where the daily just started driving straight up after a closure respecting a range, right? Let me just get that example right here, right? Not much of a bottom wick, straight drive up. Here also, once you close back into this range, respected, straight drive up. So any given point, this can happen for this candle as well. So that's what I'm going to be looking out for. But obviously, if you kind of range here, break the highs, create that top wick, re-break at these lows, yeah, you have clean traffic, I think, below 1988 as well. Look at this traffic to the left, right? Last time you broke below, instant fill, break back into this area after a fake out, fill this, clean traffic to the left, towards at least 1982, which is like a 60 pip range. So you have a lot of clean range, I would say, and like I wouldn't be worried about getting a trade tomorrow. It's definitely likely. I would just need more confirmations in terms of the daily, in terms of the 4 hour, which currently has no structure. Those need to create structure for me before I'm able to take a trade to continue down. For buys are going to be difficult, not impossible. I'm going to need to see some pretty steep bottom wicks, I'm not going to lie. Potentially even a fill down to around like 1981, or at least a break below 1988, right? So something similar to what happened here, where you got a break below and then you start coming back up. Maybe I'll take the re-break of some highs on the smaller time frame before we're able to continue back up. So in this case, you broke these lows, created a high, you attempted a second low. If you then re-break this high, yeah, potentially. But that won't be until you kind of tap into this 1988 level. So that's a key level for me, and that's what I'm going to need price to tap. So a break of all these lows, and then if you get then a break above, what is this high? 1997. Above here, kind of a similar area, right? Just price is that technical for gold. Break above here. Yeah, cool. I'll look to take some buys to continue back up. So I think it's a pretty nice analysis today. Overall, we're understanding that we are bearish, but daily has respected, right? 4 hour, no structure. Weekly could flip at any given point. Your hourly is looking like it's ranging in a low kind of area here. Any given point, it can still, close bullish back into certain ranges and continue pushing up. I'm going to need this area to get tapped. And secondary, I think, is going to be, ideally somewhere around here. Right, around 2003 areas, might be lower, right? But if it taps into this area, then you get a breakout above here. I'll look for buys. If you tap into somewhere above, anywhere between like here and like down towards around 2000, like these areas, then yeah, I'll look for sells to continue down after you break below. Because look at this, right? Your 30 also has no top wick. If it comes up, breaks above these highs, creates that top wick, yeah, cool. I'll look for those sells. No wick entries though, right? The only way I can get wick entries is if price does something like this, where you potentially have a bearish close like this, then, right, you have, you know, potentially even a breakout on that closure. But that also has a top wick, right, which broke certain highs. And then you come back up. Even this is going to be difficult because you don't know how far it's going to go. What I'd probably like is this. If it breaks this low, right, and then this next candle for the 4 hour or 30-minute or whatever comes down, does this, next candle does this, right, then yeah, I'll probably look for potential wick entries to come down to continue filling. But the crucial thing here is what I'll need is probably, I'll need a pretty nice bottom wick here. I'll need a breakout below, and I'll also need initial liquidity to be grabbed just to confirm that this is the direction, right? Because that's going to be my daily high. If this wants to continue pushing up, this was probably it. And then you got a breakout, second confirmation. Third confirmation is that, you know, you're overall bearish to come down. So for me, that's the only way I can get wick entries. Obviously, everybody will have slightly different opinions on how they can get into their trades, but yeah, it's an aggro day potentially, but I still need my confirmations because any given point the daily could take over that time frame, right? Your daily closure obviously below most recent, but respecting this structure to the left, 1989. So yeah, just be careful about that. What I would say though, one thing that's good is every time you did respect and you want to start driving up, you tapped into these areas first, right? Tapped into this. Even these times where you then came back up, right? You drove from below, right? So in these cases, you came back up, you tapped into 1987 first. So that's why I'm saying you're likely going to see a tap into 1988, right? That level is high chances going to get tapped because you're bearish and you're also, you know, at any given point you need liquidity to continue back up. But yeah, that's, you know, that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. Rest of the week wise, you know, just yeah, like we had an initial goal I think yesterday when we did the member session, understanding that overall we're bearish to come down to fill the monthly range towards around 1990. That was our goal. We had a wick fill, right, and then a fill of the range. So now that that's happened, you still need to wait for confirmations from price to understand exactly where it wants to go. Any given point, you could just reject. And yeah, right. There's nothing you can do if it just rejects. But yeah, cool. I think that's gonna be it, guys. Pretty straightforward. I think it's just sells, but you need top wicks, or buys after liquidity. Same thing every single day. You know, you just realize that your analysis every single day is probably gonna be the same, and that's when you know you're more consistent, right? You're looking for the same things every single day because it works. The win rate is there because, you know, this strategy works. So yeah. Just trying to find any other areas where we pushed from this kind of high or breaking below and now we're in this range. I mean, this, not really. You always came down to fill 1988, so this is just messy. But even this, right, you came down to tap past 1988, even if you had this structure here. Top wicks again towards around that 2003 area here, right? Top wicks here, ranging around here currently. So top wicks again, straight down. So yeah, I think that's like, yeah, like 2003. If it doesn't get tapped, I don't think I'll get any trades. Even if it starts pushing down, then yeah, the only trades I can potentially get is if your 4 hour has like a really strong closure below certain ranges, like potentially below 1988 with like and then you then come up with a pretty steep top wick, breaking the previous 4 hour highs and creating a steeper daily top wick, and then re-break the lows. I'll look to take a range fill towards 1977, and then if you then get breakouts below 1972, 1977, or whatever it is, I'll look for sells if it's not too late in the session. So if it's like, you know, early New York and you kind of just pushed from Asian and London, maybe I'll need top wicks, right? But if it's like 4 p.m. or if it's like 5 p.m. London time, which is I think like more like 12 and 1 p.m. for you guys in the US and in Canada or whatever, then I probably won't get anything. And that's fine, right? We've caught 60 pips this week already, and it's only been 2 days. There's no need to take a trade. We've taken essentially 10 pippers, so no need to FOMO. But yeah, I'm gonna need to see this level get tapped before anything happens. And even if it gets tapped, I can't, like, for example, you have some bottom wick not too steep, can't get buys. So yeah, that's overall my understanding of the charts. So let's see, let's get the Zoom boys on. Oh, they can just unmute whenever. So I am doing well. I've been back-to-back meetings since 9 a.m. all the way till now. It's all right. Yeah, legit. Because I have like this training which is currently happening, and it's like between 1 and like 6 p.m. And then I had like a startup meeting from 6 till about like 9:30, and then after that I had an interview. Well, I'm interviewing somebody, not for like a job or anything, just like understanding like bits of problem areas that they're facing, whatever. And then it's about 10, and then starting this. So it's been a packed day, but it's been pretty good, I would say. You guys had a good trading day today?
Yeah, pretty clean.
Pretty clean move. Johnny, did you catch it today, or were you off?
No, it slipped me 24 pips.
What the fuck? Where? That's nuts.
Areas?
20... Oh, all the way up here?
Yeah, I took the break of that low.
And it slipped you like all the way down to like...
Yeah, so...
Jesus. Did you close immediately, or what did you do?
Pretty much. I mean, I was a bit confused at first. Because
I would be.
It slipped me that far when it's not news.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like 24 pips. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like 20... Bro, that's not okay. Was it because just like a 1 minute candle pushed this? I'm guessing? Just dropped, yeah, I guess. Okay. Fair enough, man. I don't know. Don't know about your broker, bro. I guess it happens.
And, yeah, pretty much. I was like, I'm confused. And then it was like very slightly in profit, then it was 10 pips down, and then it went back to even. And I was like, I'm closing.
Yeah.
It got so far, it had the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
The move, like, pretty much on news or pre-news, it's like so clean what we've seen so many times, right? Break the highs and then break the lows.
Yeah.
Where it just pushes up before news.
Yeah.
I don't think the break the lows that enough range to break the lows.
Here.
That literally was like a 1 second.
This was way too quick. Like, it dropped down to here immediately. There was no way you could have... It was, like, here. Like, immediately just came down to 2022. Like, 100 pip whipsaw, basically. Like, straight up, straight down. And that's a 30 pip top wick as well, right? That's pretty nice.
Right.
Oh, no, sorry, like, 20 pips, right? But from, like, the break of this low, that's a 30 pip thing. So, like, I think, realistically...
Resistance area as well.
Yeah. Realistically, if you were looking at, just normal price action, I'd look for a closure below back into this range and it sells down, right? Because you tapped into these sorts of areas as liquidity. But it's like, am I looking on the 1 minute, or like, what am I doing here? Yeah, I think I took a break of these lows, the news low, on the 1, because it was just so clean with the top wick. And I don't know where I closed. I think I closed maybe around like 10 pips or something. But yeah, and then like just more sells down overall. This was one of those aggro days where price is just going to do its thing. There's nothing you can do besides just follow the trend. Trying to take a buy is like, it's probably the worst thing you can do. Which I definitely did earlier on in my career. But yeah, like 15 closure below the range. I think this was potentially the trade we took or whatever.
Yes. That's what it was. Yeah.
So clean. Everything was just clean. Like, if this didn't happen though, then it would be slightly worrying, right? But a lot of the times, because you get news and it just pushes in one direction and you don't get any liquidity, right? It's just like a straight candle with no top wick. And then at that point, you're just like, okay, I'm going to need a 5 closure because I don't know if it's going to create that top wick. But you also got a closure below and a top wick. Like, man, And your previous, I think, daily was also bearish, right? Bearish here. Yeah. Break of the highs. Bro, that was so clean. Yeah, like today and tomorrow, like today and yesterday's price action was immaculate. It's fantastic price action. Like this. Or was it this? No, it was this. Right? Yeah, this. This was lovely. This was Friday, right? Friday, I think we also got a trade on Friday. It's also pretty clean. But like this structure is, oh my god. This is what dreams are made of.
Yeah.
Just like even this structure here, right? Like this. Break the lows to come up, then re-break this low as liquidity. So nice. Every single time you've grabbed liquidity here, you've grabbed liquidity here, you've grabbed liquidity here. Like this like these couple of days, if you're new and like you're trying to learn price action and the strategy, I don't think you're gonna get any better examples than this. AB Mike, pretty much what I'm looking for tomorrow, rest of the week. Yeah, man. I think you've been here for quite a while as well, so you know. Guess trust the analysis. Trust what you're doing. Yeah. By far best stream? Nah, man. I'm not making any money for you guys on this stream. I'm just doing the analysis. So if you're here for education, then yeah, probably quite a good stream, right? But yeah, Don also does equal analysis. The rest of DVS, Wix, you know, Kieran, Huss, SG, Janez, we all do good analysis. It's just slightly different. I think mine's relatively closer to Don's pure technical analysis, right? But yeah, CAB, see Mike. Thanks for taking the time out to do this, awesome man. Yeah, no worries. What else? Yeah, daily fake out. Yeah, I mean, any given point, right? Daily could still come back. I would say you have slightly less chance of a daily fake out just because you have a previous top wick for the for that broke the previous daily high. So if you were to fake out, what you would normally see is it just come down first without a top wick and then start flipping bullish to continue back up. And at that point, then yeah, cool. You're looking to potentially continue up for the time being. But with the daily having this top wick, it's clean to come down. It's just how far is it going to continue driving without liquidity? Because you've stopped around here, right? The last 4 hours have been just kind of within this range here, 45 pips or whatever. Hourly is starting to struggle here, right? So just again, similar to all of this structure, break of the highs, continuation down. So break of the highs towards around 2003 if you can, continue down. And you have a nice range to fill from 1990 to 1988, right? Even if it's a closure on your 30, if you get this, that's like 30 pips. Break of this low to come down, that's like a nice advantage point as well. But yeah.
You know, with news breaking lows, how, to an extent, like how far do you want the retracement? Like if you think about news, when it's pushing down, obviously it's just breaking its own lows as it moves down.
Yeah.
So like how far was top wick or retracement are you looking for to then take the re-break of those? Because I guess like every time it moves lower, it's technically a re-break of those.
Yeah. So I would refer to the 1 minute because usually for like there was a really clean news 1 minute that we previously got. I'm just trying to find it exactly. This was not bad as well, right? Where you had this was 1 minute structure, and that was 15 pips to go up, and then re-break these lows wasn't too bad. Obviously you came back up, but you pushed, right? After you re-broke this low, you had a nice push down for, I guess 7 pips or whatever. But this wasn't news, I don't think. Let me find the news one.
Yeah, on today's I was just looking for a bullish candle on the one, and then for it to break below the.
Yeah.
But they didn't print a bullish one, so I didn't take it.
Yeah, because usually you get something like this, right?
Yeah, you get that one bullish candle often.
Yeah, I'm just.
So I think it was just driving so hard.
Yeah, this was.
You can take how far it rejected as the bit of the bullish candle.
Yeah. I would say what we typically want to see is structure that looks like this, right? To come down. Because if this was news, right? Imagine this was news and it came down, you had a 5 minute closure that was like here, right? Where you have no top wick on your one, and then it comes up to create that top wick first. And then I think in this case, you probably have like a 5 closure here, right? That's like this. After this gets kind of printed, and then you get a re-break of your lows, and you've kind of closed back into this overall range, right? You can anticipate a range fill first, I would say. And after that range fill, you know, if you do break below that other range here, yeah, you can continue to take those sells down. I don't think the retracement needs to be very big. The only time where I would be, you know, slightly worried about how far it's pushing up is if it's doing something like this, where, you know, it doesn't even have to be that high, but if it has like this, that's when I would be worried. Because you've filled the ranges down, right? So any given point, that could be where you needed to tap to grab liquidity to continue pushing up. But in terms of like going down, I would say as long as it just has a bottom wick, like this, and then you have like this was perfect here as well, right? Your 5 broke the previous 5 high and then started closing bearish below, and then your next 5 also had a top wick. Like, it's a pretty clean structure back into the range. But yeah, like if this came up to even to these areas, I think it would have been fine, because you were just taking the re-break of the lows, I would say. And that's usually okay. Yeah. Trying to find that news. This was definitely news. Yeah, I mean, let's see on the one. Like even on the one, there's structure here, right? You have this bottom wick here, come up, create that top wick. This top wick is, well, I mean, from here to here, that's a retracement, right, of about 13, 14 pips. And then you re-break this low, it should be pretty clean, because you know, you're closing back below these sort of ranges here. So a range fill down towards around here is pretty clean, right? 2031. So from here, if you're taking that off the rip or whatever, that's a 13 pip advantage point. And then you have some structure here. Once you break that, yeah, it's pretty good to come down as well. But if it starts doing something like this, where it's like struggling here, right? You've come down, come up, cool. This is still fine. Comes down, doesn't break the lows, but breaks the highs. Then it's like, I don't really know if I want to take this, even if it's the 1 minute. But you have so much volume. Each candle is like 10 pips, right? I would start to worry a little bit with this. Obviously, it still drove down, right? Like from this point on, it still drove down to around like here, which is 20 odd. But yeah, I'd wait for potentially this, and then a re-break of this low potentially. And this even this didn't give you that strong of a push. And you had no, I mean, that's a 1 minute, but it's fine. But yeah. Yeah, but I think when news moves so quickly, it's difficult to say like, oh yeah, we want to look for this X, Y, Z. It's, you know, you get a feeling from the chart. You get a feeling of how the price is kind of moving. And with today's news, you had that push up first really quickly, and then that push down. It was quite nice. But for everybody who had like a buy stop and a sell stop, you would have been fucked. You would have got activated and slipped, probably got an entry like up here, and then you would have probably got a sell, slip again, probably around like, I don't know, somewhere around like these areas. No, probably a lot further, right? If your 1 minute is like just came down immediately, like you probably get like slipped somewhere like here. So that in itself, you've already lost. Well, let's say it's not that extreme. Let's say you get slipped here, and for this position you get you slipped here. You've lost 60 pips already, because you're in both positions, right? And you just locked into that loss. Yeah, this is why we don't trade news, right? And you can still get trades after news, right? Like, you have so much volume, and you then also have direction if it continues to print, right? So yeah. Cool. I mean, hopefully daily. I would like it to come down first. If it comes down but doesn't break the lows, something like this, and then starts coming back up, or if it does something like this, breaks some lows, like some small lows, and then starts retracing back up, right, and then does something like this. Oh, no, not that. If it does something like this, we have like, we've been seeing this quite a lot, right? Top wicks. You could probably even trade this to come down. That'd be pretty clean. But yeah, we will see. This will take time to print, so nothing we can do. But yeah, I think, Tom, we had the same position coming down as well, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That, like, literally the same exact entry and exit.
Wait, so what do you guys think?
I'm just trying to figure out where it was.
He was a first 15 major after 4 uploads. I was like looking for so I look at that we closed on the 4, and then the first thing it did is come down about 3.
It was around here, right?
Yeah.
I think it was this.
Top wick candle
Was it this?
where's the 4-hour close? Was it 2? Was it?
Yeah, around here.
Yeah,
What did we take?
So it came down initially, and then it came back up, broke the 4-hour high, creating that 4-hour top wick, and then the 15 closed below, and then just re-break the 15 low. Just like opened up.
Let me just check. Because I took it on my $100 account because I was done for a day on like my main account, so I was just going to test theories. So I took that and I was like, yeah, that was a fantastic position, I guess. Yeah, it was this. Like, we took a sell here. Yeah.
Why did you take the break of the
Yeah, so the main thing is, I think,
the previous lows?
yeah, so your 4-hour closed here. You had a top wick, which was very nice. No, I'm not gonna lie, a top wick for your candle. Your 15 had no bottom wick at that point, right? You came up, you created this high, broke this previous 5 and 15 high here because you needed a top wick. Then you started flipping bearish. I was like, okay, high chance you're just gonna continue this, and this is liquidity for you to continue down. And regardless of what happens, right, there's a high chance you're gonna drive down, break this low before coming up anyways. So I think on, like, I just zoomed in after that 15 and then looked at the 1 or the 5 or whatever it was. I think it was the 5. Yeah, the 5, as this closed bearish back here, I basically just executed, I think, on the break of this low. I was like, yeah, it's flipping bearish after such a top wick, and you also have a top wick for this. High chance you're just going to continue to rip down. Yeah, and then it went into a little bit of drawdown, but yeah, I had my I had literally stops here because that was already 50, and then as it came back up, that was like a 30 something, which was fine because that's where my stop is, and then it just flipped down. Like, this was the aggressive pull we were looking for, and we got it, and then exit was literally there, like 50 on the dot, basically, like right there. Yeah, pretty clean, man. Just with the 4-hour close, 15 opening, 4-hour opening, obviously. Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah, your 4-hour was 4-hour was so nice. Because you see here as well, like, this is like it's trickling, no bottom wick, no top wick. Break of the highs, come down, close below range. Yeah, you couldn't really ask for any more. This is Jerome's artwork. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end this relatively soon. I feel like, do you guys have any other questions or things you want to talk about? If not, we're probably just gonna do. Oh, I'm not gonna be doing the analysis tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, Wednesday? Oh, tomorrow Wednesday. Yes, it's Valentine's Day. Will be no stream, obviously. And Thursday, I'm also going to be doing some other DVS work, so I don't think I can stream. But I'll let you guys know close to the day. If anything, I might do like a slightly earlier members thing on Thursday, and that could be okay. Like, not quite 10 p.m., maybe like 8, maybe 9. We'll have a look. But yeah. Cool. Any last comments before we hop off here, guys?
No.
No. W trade though. This was quick 50 pips.
Yeah, that was very nice.
What that took? How long did that take? Because we both sat through this drawdown.
Yeah.
Alright, this to like down here basically. That was like 8 minutes. Yeah, beautiful execution. Cool. Right, I'm gonna end it here, guys. I'll just speak to you guys. I'll speak to you guys once more this week. I'll definitely organize a members one. But yeah, speak soon, guys, and have a good rest of your day.
Cheers.
Yeah, see you guys. Yeah, and for everybody on the YouTube, I am going to be reducing the amount of days I'm going to be streaming. I might keep Sundays just because that's market open, and I feel like that's quite nice to look at. But I might reduce the amount of days down to Sunday and just Thursday. So market open for the week and market close for Thursday. Basically because on Monday it's going to be members. I'll probably do another members thing in the middle of the week. And then I also am doing some other DVS work on the side, building up the community, building up some other tools that are coming. They're all going to be available for you guys as well. So it is still part of DVS work that I'm doing, but I just need to put in some time for that. Working with Don, working with some of the developers on their side. So yeah, but it's been a good analysis, and I feel like we do this quite well. We come to charts every evening, do a good breakdown before the charts start moving again. I think that's quite crucial. So if you want to join up again, likely I would say the next stream will be on Sunday. If you do want to join up the members, then I will, you can just DM me or whatever on Instagram. And I'll, we have some new joiners, but they haven't been coming to the streams. But yeah, cool. I think that's gonna be it, guys. Have a good rest of your evening, and if I don't speak to you all, have a good weekend. And I will see you on Sunday for the next confirmed stream. But yeah, peace.